today is a big anniversary in sports.
It is, actually.
And I remember it clearly.
Mm-hmm.
The Boys and Girls Club of, was it?
Cleveland!
No. It was in
Akron,
Connecticut, wasn't it? It was in Connecticut they had the
it was in Connecticut.
It was in Connecticut, if I remember correctly, at the Boys and Girls Club or something. Am I right? It was at where Rob G. What happened 15 years ago today, July 8th, 15 moons ago?
It was a true watershed moment for the NBA because 15 years ago today was the decision where LeBron James famously left the Cleveland Cavaliers to take his talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat. Obviously, we've seen a lot of think pieces come out about it today. And the consensus seems to be that that moment has spawned several different avenues in NBA history. Number one, it was the day the player empowerment era was born. Number two, according to multiple people, it was the day that networks began emphasizing insiders with scoops ahead of any player transaction because they didn't like the idea that only one guy had this story, and it was LeBron James, and they wanted to have these guys be able to have it in advance.
So they said all the insiders get in bed with the agent.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Number three, it eventually led to the full-fledged evolution of the pace and space era because as much as Steve Nash and those guys were very good in Houston, in Phoenix, nobody was really winning with that style until LeBron, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh playing the 5, LeBron playing the 4, and suddenly they were winning. And last but not least, it served as the official launching point of Team USA basketball serving as a feeder system for the NBA super teams. Because as you know, all these super teams that have come together since then, 95% of them, those guys played together on Team USA.
And Rob G., you know what else it is?
What's that?
It's a defining moment in LeBron James's legacy. Because the things that Rob G. talked about, when you really think about LeBron's legacy, it failed. Player empowerment failed. LeBron, right, he won his couple of championships, but it didn't really work out. It didn't carry over. Other people tried. A couple teams tried it. Guess what? It also hurt LeBron. It came back to bite him what he was able to do with Miami and how his career and his ring total could be totally different, right, had he not set this up. When I think of LeBron, I think that what he did in Miami was MySpace, and then Golden State said, you know what, we got something for you. We're going to do Facebook. And they went and got Kevin Durant. And they won those 2 championships against LeBron. Those are 2 more L's that hung on LeBron. So they did it even better than LeBron did it. And when I think of, like, legacy, I talk about all the time. You could talk about Greg Popovich's 5 championships. I think of load management. When I think of LeBron James, I think of player empowerment that didn't work ultimately. And now all of these restrictive CBA things that they've put in are all to stop that, to all stop players from moving. Here's a double apron. You can't do it. It's going to cost you money. Like the players allowed the owners to put in these really stiff penalties to stop all of this. So what he thought he was doing, which was giving players a liberation and a freedom to decide what their careers are going to do, actually backfired. Cost them some championships and also put stricter restrictions on players and their movement. People have abandoned this whole idea of super teams. It is not a lasting legacy for LeBron James.
All right, LeBron did not complete the super team for anybody other than the fact that it was for himself because LeBron knew he was about to be judged on a completely different criteria. And so he realized, and this is one of the questions I've had for fans, Rob, and I really mean it. Why don't fans get mad at the right people? Fans don't get mad at James Dolan. Fans don't get mad at Jerry Jones. Fans don't get mad at Dan Gilbert because you know what Dan Gilbert did? He did nothing for LeBron when LeBron was there. He left. I swear we'll win a championship before LeBron ever wins one. Well, that wasn't it. LeBron won the next year and 2 years later. And so to me, it's comical. And then Dan Gilbert only won because LeBron came back and won.
Why'd he go back?
And he ain't
why
done
did
anything.
why did LeBron go back? If Dan Gilbert was such a bad guy and didn't know what he was doing, why did LeBron go back?
Glad you asked.
Yeah,
because
why?
LeBron went off and won
Okay.
and became the biggest thing in the NBA.
So then why'd he go
And
back? Why would he go help Dan
I'm about
Gilbert?
to tell you because there's a
Don't
whole.
make sense to me.
It absolutely does because LeBron wanted to win, and for who? This one's for Cleveland. This is for you. He wanted to win one in Cleveland, and guess what he did? He won in Cleveland. And so to me, the player empowerment only moves if you're that great. People have been moving for the last 10, 15 years and didn't do nothing with it. LeBron goes to Miami and wins a couple, loses a couple as well. Then he goes back to
Loses a
Cleveland.
couple as well.
Yeah, he did. And he goes back to Cleveland and wins again. And so my point is,
He's won 4 championships in 24 years.
So my point is, how long is a person supposed to stay in an organization that drafted them if they've done nothing? The Cavaliers did nothing before him. They didn't do right and get guys with him. This is a real thing. They didn't do anything for him. Boobie Gibson was a starting point guard. They had Drew Gooden.
How many games
was one
did
of
they
their
win
best
during
players.
those years? You want to go over their win total during the LeBron Cleveland years? Were they the number 1 seed? Did they win 60 games every year?
Because
but they didn't
of
have
him.
anybody. Okay.
Wait.
But in
You're
the play-
telling me they had something?
But in the playoffs, they
Wait.
didn't have anything?
How did they win? I just said they had LeBron.
How'd they win games?
By
Okay.
LeBron.
But they couldn't win with
By
LeBron
LeBron.
in the playoffs?
You were there when he scored 25
But he couldn't
straight.
win in the playoffs?
Because I'm saying
Why?
the team wasn't
He beat the Pistons by himself.
I'm glad you asked.
Okay, so what happened?
So
he
hold
went
on,
to San
first of
Antonio.
all, let me talk. Michael Jordan didn't do anything either until Pippen became Pippen, until he got Phil Jackson. He just put up a bunch of points, and that's a fact. He was getting swept in first round. He wasn't getting out the second round, and that's okay because no one does it alone, Rob. Magic Johnson walked into Jamal Wilkes, Norm Nixon, Kareem
They
Abdul-Jabbar,
weren't
and
winning
other
anything
players.
before that.
But he
go
had
look at,
guys.
Go look at the Lakers before that. How many championships did they win before he
I'm
got
glad
there?
you said
Magic.
that. My point
he
is, you
revitalized that franchise.
That's my point, but I have to do it with Kareem. Who was their best player when they were there? It was Kareem the first half years. Magic will tell you that. And then it's Kareem and then Magic. So I'm not knocking. You need people, is my point.
I'm talking about his legacy. It ain't nobody thinks of him as the all-time greatest scorer like Kareem was forever. That's not what you think about when you think about LeBron. You think about he ushered in the legacy of trying to stack his team to win. And that's what he wanted to do.
And that's fine, but you're missing the
it didn't
impetus.
work.
You're missing
it didn't
the genesis
work for
of it.
him.
I don't get how. Hold on. So
he went
hold
10
on, listen.
times.
So,
it didn't work.
So
it didn't work.
You're missing the genesis.
He lost
the
to-
reason why this happened was because the Cavs were doing nothing, and he realized you all are only going to judge me on winning championships. Period. I'm the same player talent-wise. I'm good. I'm winning MVPs. I've gotten to drag the team to the finals in 2007. You're only going to judge me on winning championships. The team is doing nothing for 7 years, 6, 7, 8 years.
Come on, man.
He leaves on.
You know what? To sit here and say they did nothing. They got him everybody he wanted. Even Shaq wore Cavaliers.
Okay.
No. How did Shaq get there? How did he get there?
He was 40.
How did he get there?
He was 40.
How did he get there?
He was 40.
Why was he on that team then?
Because he was Shaq, but he was 40.
But I'm asking you how.
Right.
LeBron didn't want him and they brought Shaq in.
If your argument,
I'm asking you.
that might be the worst
Answer
argument you've ever said.
No, it ain't. Answer the question.
A 40-year-old Shaq who would like
how
the next.
How did he get there? LeBron didn't want him, but he got there.
Why are you bringing up a 40-year-old Shaq?
Because I'm asking you, how did Shaq get to Cleveland?
Because I'll tell you.
No, I'm asking you.
Let me answer the question.
Answer it.
Easily. They always a dollar late and a dollar
Who?
short. A day late and a dollar
Cleveland
short.
or LeBron?
Cleveland.
Who's making the decisions?
Cleveland.
Come on,
They're
man.
always so
Ain't no
LeBron only wants a 40-year-old. He don't want a 34-year-old Shaq still balling. He wants a 40-year-old. He wants a has-been Ben Wallace.
If LeBron said, I don't want Shaq, the Cavaliers wouldn't have done it?
The Cavaliers wouldn't have done it? The Miami Heat got still something in the tank, Shaq. LeBron got Shaq talks about how washed up he was. Ben Wallace wasn't the same. They did nothing. He leaves and wins a couple.
Doing nothing means you didn't bring in anybody. That's what doing nothing is.
Name me somebody. I'll wait.
Doing nothing. You said they did nothing. Doing nothing means you don't bring anybody in.
No.
It might not have worked out, but you can't say they didn't do anything.
If you're telling me, if your best strength, they brought in a 40-year-old Shaq.
Ben Wallace won 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards.
Over. So what I'm saying is they didn't bring in anybody at the right time. So he went and got it himself, and to the tune of the Cavaliers doing nothing before, during, while he was there the first run. He comes back and wins. So all I'm saying is he had to go create what he was never going to get there in Cleveland.